Cool. Since this last week, not a lot happened in pop culture that I didn't talk about, but some stuff did slip between the cracks that I do want to get into. Starting with though, Michael Blackson. Since you just said I didn't know you were engaged. Congratulations, first and foremost.
Thank
But
you.
that fits right into what this topic is right here. So Michael Blackson is engaged as well. His wife, I did talk about this a couple of weeks ago with AKA, but best of bias listeners, again, we didn't have a female's perspective on this. We said what we said. You guys go back and listen to that and you guys can rehash that. But he says that he is able to have one side chick a month, and his fiance allows it, and she's able to have a side chick a month as well, but she's not allowed to have a dude because that's quote Michael Blackson, too many dicks in the relationship, which is a very weird concept to me. I just wanted to see how you felt about that.
Man, okay, there's so many different things, so many different feelings for me. But first and foremost, you have to respect everyone's relationship and how
Absolutely.
they, want to manage that.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion on it is if it works for you, it works for you. But what bothers me is that she can only have a woman. As a person that identifies as queer, like often women aren't looked as equal. I mean, equal as a man, and so they're less than, and so that was what rubbed me the wrong way. Like, oh, okay, so she can have a woman because he probably doesn't see them as a threat, right? Like, he's not a woman himself. There's no real competition there. But the reality is many people live in these lives where they have multiple partners, and sometimes they fall in love with the same sex, and then it does become a bigger issue, and then it's brought back to the core relationship. And so that was something that I was really excited to want to bring that to the show, because I don't think that that's maybe been thought about either. Like, why is it that only a woman is allowed but not a guy, right? Like,
it was really weird, especially his kind of tone. He's a comedian, so me personally, I think this was a shtick to get him kind of like talked about back in the media again. I really don't think he's serious. I hope not, because that is very, very stupid, especially if she's okay with bringing a girl into the relationship. What if she does fall in love with one of the girls? It's still bringing the problem that he kind of says a male would bring. It's kind of like, so, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. I don't think he's thought about it much. I think that's just something he has been going around saying on interviews that has put him back in the media. Because
I mean, but do you get bored in your relationship? Like, it's a real question. Like,
no, yeah.
If it works for them, it works for them, I guess.
And
it could never work for me. I get too jealous, and then I get too attached. So it wouldn't happen.
I feel that for sure. Same with me as well. I would get absolutely way too jealous, and that's as far as it would go. The jealousy, not even the attachment thing. It's just like, God damn, like if that's what you want, you gotta. If you want somebody else, just have somebody else. We ain't gonna be doing this kind of And it's too much. I can barely hold a regular phone conversation. I don't think me personally dealing with me and another person relationship is too much. I don't know. But Michael Blackson, whatever helps you in your relationship, they're not even married yet. And this is the kind of shit they have on their relationship. What happens when they get married?
Yeah. I mean, probably the same thing. I don't know. Like,
he got to be making money or something. Because the only thing I've seen him do pretty much was that his thing was next Friday, the motherfucker thing. And he rode that for a long time. He was on Wild 'N Out. He had some stand-ups. But I guess he is making some money to make, or are you doing something else? Because you got a girl like that can just say, okay, you can do whatever you want to do. I don't know if he's the most attractive man. I don't really judge men like that, but I don't think he's the most attractive man in the world to be having her spellbound to be like, okay, it's okay. It must be,
it might be something else.
You know what I'm saying? It got to be something else, because God damn. And he be dressing so goofy.
I don't know if attraction has anything to do with it. I mean, it just must be like an understanding, or, I mean, I think you do make a good point. Like, if you're not married and you are exploring this, I guess that's a good way of figuring out if it's going to work out in the end anyway. So
Hollywood.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. It's the best of bias.